Joining me now is UK correspondent Lucy McDonald. Lucy, a huge moment in history. How do you think Britain's holding up?
I think people are still in shock, actually. Coming here this morning, seeing the crowds on the street, seeing these giant pictures of the Queen, it feels very surreal. And you can just see from the number of floral tributes of letters that people have left, not outside the palace anymore because there's no space, but in Green Park, just the huge feeling, the huge depth of affection people had for the Queen.
And when you look at those handwritten notes, they are so personal. It's as if everyone knew this woman.
Yeah, well, we've had her. I mean, I've had her all my life. She ruled for 7 decades. I think everyone had a very personal relationship to her. But I also wonder about the national feeling about grief at the moment. People, obviously, COVID, they couldn't perhaps attend funerals of their loved ones. So I think it's really bringing up a lot of feelings in people about the Queen, but about grieving in general.
King Charles has given his first official speech. How do you think he went?
I was actually quite nervous for King Charles because it's a lot, isn't it? He's the longest heir in waiting. He's had a long time to think about what he would do when he became king. I thought it went brilliantly. What did he say? I pledge myself to you. It was about love, loyalty and respect. And I'm sure he'll be very relieved with how it went because he has more to prove than the Queen. So I think it's a good start for him.
There was a moment of complete surprise yesterday when we saw Harry and William together for the very first time with their wives, and that was unannounced. No one saw it coming. And what was your take on that? Is that a good move, and why do you think that move happened?
Well, I think it was an edict from the King, actually, and it was a last-minute call from William to Harry to do it, that 40-minute walk around with their wives, and it was extraordinary. And I guess the messages from the King is that he wants his family close. He doesn't want the story to be around division. He doesn't want the story to be around the 2 brothers having fallen out. So I think it was a great move. It will be interesting to see what Harry and Meghan's role is in the funeral, because obviously they're non-working royals. If I was King Charles' advisors, I would be giving them a pretty big role, present that united front.
And going forward, we know that there's difficult moments about to happen when Harry is back in the US. His book is coming out.
Absolutely.
Where will that stand in this renewed...
Well,
what do you call it between the 4 of them?
Yeah, absolutely. It does change things, doesn't it? This memoir that we've heard about. If I was King Charles, I'd be very wary about that. If I was Harry, would I want to do that now? There seems like there's some kind of reconciliation on the cards because this could be a new future for the family. I mean, we'd all love to see the brothers reunited and Charles not so far away from his son.
Do you think Charles is feeling comfortable at this moment? I mean, he's been aware that he had this role coming for a very long time. Do you think he's sitting well?
I do, actually. He's obviously been in the headlines for lots of the wrong reasons over the years. I guess Diana was the pivotal moment for him. But he's 73 now, and I feel he's grown into that statesman role. He seems very comfortable with his power. He said that he's going to leave some of his interests behind and focus on being the monarch. And he does feel like, I think, a much safer, more stable, more loving and emotionally attuned pair of hands than many of us thought.
Because these are very different times that Charles is moving in compared to the times that his mother ruled. And she did an extraordinary job, really, of helping that transition into modern times. But it does feel right now the UK is in a lot of turmoil and he has a big job ahead of him.
Absolutely. As we sort of wave goodbye to the Elizabethan era, what's next for Charles? I mean, he's spoken often about having a slimmed-down monarchy, and I think that will be a key part of what he does. But it does feel like a time of dreadful economic and political upheaval here, and I guess people are looking for some stability, and I hope that King Charles will provide that.
Probably no one more so than King Charles himself.
Indeed.
And his Queen Consort.
Absolutely.
Who looked a little bit nervous during that proclamation ceremony yesterday. Did you notice that, or was that just me?
I kind of looked like she wanted to go home and have a cup of tea or a glass of sherry.
Which would be absolutely understandable. Lucy McDonald, great to get your insight. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.